Welcome to the Punters Preview. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, and in a special treat, I'm not going to muck around. We're going to get straight into it. Fresh off an absolute steamer last week, tipping up a storm, it's Katelyn McDonald. G'day, Katie.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, we had a good day. It was, I think, the first 4 winners we got. I was thinking I was on track to tip the card, but wasn't to be. But we had a great day.
When one of them lobs at 20-1, you can have the absolute bragging rights. And I did say on the side, I was like, well, no pressure because we're back on camera as of this week. But in these special Punters Previews over the carnival, Katie will be taking us through some of her tips in the feature races. We've got a couple of dates booked in over the carnival, and we're just going to rip into the good racing. So let's get into it, Katie. We're going to start at Flemington, where All-Star Mile and Newmarket Day takes hold. And, well, there's some rain in Melbourne at the moment, but the track's going to be perfect. Let's hit the All-Star Mile. It's not the biggest field, shall we say, but it's full of quality.
So the All-Star Mile, what an awesome race. I would actually say there's only the one horse that I feel like would absolutely shock me if it won, and that was Flying Trapeze. But starting from the top, Mr. Brightside is the obvious champion of the race. He's come back in great order. He won the race 2 years ago, narrowly beaten last year in it. He looks well primed, but I'm going for a tissue, Alex. I thought she was fabulous first up. I thought, sectionally she ran just as well as the Fangirls and the Via Sustinas. We've seen that form hold up nice and strong. She loves Flemington. Damien Lane on board second up. It wouldn't shock me to see her win this.
No, it wouldn't at all. I've got Tom Kitten just ahead of her personally. But yeah, second up at the mile. She's a winner her last go at the track and distance in a Group 1, beating Amelia's Jewel. That form's worked out all right this time in already, so I don't mind it at all. Let's get to, it is the toughest race of the day. It is the Newmarket Handicap. We do love a handicap. 7 kilos top to bottom here. 15 are going to thunder down the straight. Good luck, Katie.
Yeah, I did. I did find this race really tough to work out, but I just cannot go past Jolie Star. I love this mare. I think she's top quality. She resumed as a very short price favourite in the Expressway Stakes first up, where she didn't have a great deal of luck, but then again, she didn't quite help herself either. She was really keen. She was hanging on that occasion, but yet she was still beaten just under a length to Magic Time, who I like at Randwick on Saturday as well. So, look, I think as long as she handles the straight, I think that she can win this race. The last 4-year-old mare to win it was Black Caviar, so an absolute out-and-out star. So, look, I think she is a star in her own right. She's a Group 1 winner already. She was unlucky to not win an Everest last preparation in spring. So I'm thinking that Jolie Star's the one to beat in this.
And she did look good in a recent jump out where she dead set cruised down the straight. Let's get to Randwick, where we have 10 races on the card there. Of course, a couple of feature races. I just love this time of year. You've got good horses in Sydney and Melbourne. It's great. What's the weather like in Sydney, just for those playing at home on Thursday morning?
Well, at the moment, it's just been great conditions. We've had light showers here and there, but nothing substantial. I know there's a few weather warnings out, but not quite for Sydney area. So I think we're going to get a really good track on Saturday.
Yeah, to everyone up north, please stay safe in the cyclone. Hopefully it does avoid Sydney as well. But the couple of races we're going to touch on there, the first of which being the Challenge Stakes over 1,000 metres. A lot of nice horses resuming here, and you're going with one of those ones that's resuming.
Yeah, I am. I'm going with right down the bottom, the 4-year-old Kamochi. Of course, she ended up winning the Rupert Clark at the end of last preparation. She is an absolute star, and the 1,000 metres could potentially be too short for her here, but I loved her trial. She finished alongside Amelia's Jewel. We saw what she did on the weekend. She was excellent winning at Randwick. I know the 1,000-metre horse here is I Am Me, and she is going to take some catching, especially drawn barrier 2, but I'm hoping that Kamochi can sort of try and find her back, and she might be the strongest one late.
I like it. You're getting good odds there, and you've got I Am Me off sort of a questionable run first up, so I don't mind that tip whatsoever. The next, of course, being the first of the Group 1s at Randwick on a Saturday. It is the Randwick Guineas. Broadsiding holds the market here. He's all over it, and James jumps aboard for the first time since the Caulfield Guineas.
Yeah, look, he's the obvious pick, and he maps to get the best run in the race. it's hard to tip against him. But if there is a chink in his armour, I really, really like the filly down the bottom, Aliana. Of course, we saw her down at Flemington in spring, winning the Carbine Club at Group 3 level, and then narrowly beaten in 1,000 guineas at Caulfield, where she just sort of scooted around the corner and didn't quite get the Caulfield track. So, I think that if she can find his back or be near enough to him, she could run really well. She ran super first up in the Hobartville, where she ran third behind Broadsiding on that occasion. So there's going to be really good improvement in her.
And what do you think of the return of Broadsiding? Obviously, there was such a hype around him coming into his spring preparation, and not a lot went his way. Caulfield was against him. He ran well in a Cox Plate. He just happened to be 10 lengths off a legitimate freak, and then I think he was done by the time he hit the Cantala. He came back. He looks like he's as good as he was when he won the Golden Rose last prep. Does he have to win a couple more races to sort of stamp himself towards that Animo level?
Probably, but I tell you what, he's not too far off. Of course, he was champion 2-year-old. He's he's going the right way about it. He's probably had enough by the time he got to the Cantala and didn't disgrace himself in the Cox Plate, as you said. It's just good to see him after that really, really solid preparation in spring to come back and win the way that he did first up. He's a quality horse, drawing that barrier, he's going to be definitely the horse to beat.
And let's get to the final of the Group 1s. Race number 8. Is it the Bjorn Baker Canterbury Stakes? Because it is the Toyota Forklift Canterbury Stakes. Bjorn does have one running around there. Chowolf returns he was scratching last week, so he spins around here. But this is a very interesting race. Obviously, Switzerland comes into this after skipping the Newmarket as well. And there's Group 1 winners galore here.
Yeah, what a great race. Over the 1,300, of course, as you said, Chowolf, he's had that setback last week, so he comes back to the 1,300, which is probably not ideal for me, especially drawing one. He's going to need a lot of luck from that barrier. So, I'm thinking Magic Time here, Alex. Horse number 10. I loved her winning the Expressway. Iona Merck came out and franked that form last week, winning. She's excellent second up. She maps well from a good barrier. Jordan Childs has options. I love Graham Begg. He knows the right horses to bring here to Sydney. Of course, he trained here for so many years. So, I think Magic Time is the bet here. Steffi Magnetica is another horse that I'm watching really closely. Trialled enormous. Of course, she first up last preparation, ran second in the shorts behind I Am Me. So, look, she can fly fresh. No doubt we'll need obviously we should want a little bit further. I think that she could be one to watch in this.
Yeah, I think this is one of those races that when we get sort of maybe even towards the end of Stradbroke season in Brisbane, we're going to look back and be like, that was one of the hot races because horses resuming, who knows where a few of them are going to go. But Katie, before we let you go, we do need to ask, you were recently in Saudi Arabia for one of the greatest races that we have ever seen on the international stage. Obviously, take the narrow defeat out of it. How was that as a spectacle to watch?
Oh, it was awesome, Alex. It was a pleasure to be there and see, the different culture in Saudi Arabia. They love their horse racing. There were so many people out there, and the atmosphere was pretty remarkable. And especially when the gates opened to see one of the races that will go down in the history books as one of the best ever. To see Romantic Warrior and he shot clear. He looked home and hosed, but Forever Young was very, very brave. And to space third the way that they did and smash the track record was pretty cool to be there and watch.
I've heard next year that given the timing of when the races are going to be on, it's going to be during the month of Ramadan. The races are going to go from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. So that might be a bit of a tough one next year for a few of the participants, shall we say.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know whether I'll be going back next year. That'll be a tough night, I'd imagine. But maybe you might get a Guernsey.
I'm free and able to do anything. If someone's willing to call me, I am in. But Katie, it's been an absolute pleasure for the first of the punters previews that we're going to do over the autumn period.
Yeah, looking forward to it, and best of luck on Saturday. What a great days of racing.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.